In honor of YouTube turning 20 years old this year, I figured I would talk about something that's kind of been on my mind for a little while. You read the title correctly. We missed the point of YouTube. See, me and the tube, we go way back. I first started watching YouTube in 2007. I went over a friend's house. He kind of introduced me to it. I didn't know nothing about YouTube. YouTube came out in 05, Didn't know anything about it. I was watching the Boondocks. Remember the Boondocks season 2 just came out. I was watching those clips. I'm watching clips from video games. And this is back when you wanted to watch a TV show or a video game, like a walkthrough or whatever, it took you like 38 parts. It's like part 1 be 2 minutes long, part 2 is a minute long, part 3 be 35 seconds long, part 4 be 2 minutes long. It's like it took 50 parts just to watch, one episode or something. Much simpler times these times were. You see, we didn't know it back then, but we have been given a gift from the God, the internet God. We had people who would make skits. Grown people, right, in their late teens to anywhere in their 20s would write skits, write script, get off work, go and get with their other friends and make these funny skits. Like, y'all remember Ghost Nova, Saw House? I remember watching Onision. I remember when Shane Dawson used to work at Jenny Craig or Schminny Schmeg because he didn't want to say the name. I mean, all these people that made up my childhood of watching YouTube. And when I look back, I realized we failed. We dropped the ball. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean we failed, we dropped the ball? Well, you see, for you teeny boppers and you youngsters out there that's like, if any 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old come across this video, there used to be a time when you had to go to this place called Hollywood, which is out in California, or New York City, which is in New York. These places were the hotbed to get discovered, to be a singer, to be an actor, to be a director, to be whatever you wanted to be. You couldn't be somewhere in Alabama, where I'm from, or somewhere in Arkansas, or somewhere in Idaho, somewhere in Iowa, somewhere in Mississippi, somewhere in Louisiana, and expect to be this huge actor. You probably could get commercial work and stuff like that, but you had to go out. You had to venture out, You had to go out to Hollywood, this is called, right? Well, around 2013, 14, that all went away. Now, you could be famous. You could be a celebrity from your living room, living in nowhere, West Virginia, right? Living in the Hills Have Eyes, West Virginia. You could be a star from your living room just by doing what I'm doing, posting a video in your house and uploading it onto the good old interwebs. Well, so why you say we dropped the ball? Why you say we failed? What does that mean? You see, you had mainstream TV, right? You had movies, you had TV shows, you had networks, Fox, CNN, Spike, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim. These are networks, With YouTube, your network was just your camera, your living room, bedroom, garage, outside, anywhere where you could bring a camera or your phone. This gift we were given was a break from the mainstream, what we were told to watch. Here's what's coming on, television programming, television programming, right? 5:30 this is coming on, 6 o'clock this is coming on, 6:30 this is coming on, 7 o'clock this is coming on, right? We were free from that. We got to watch whatever we wanted to watch. It's people that do gameplay. It was people that did vlogs. It was people that did skits. It was people that did videos kind of like mine, think piece videos, video essays, even though they weren't called that back then. Reviews, all kind of stuff. And guess what? You didn't have to wait for 7 o'clock. You didn't. You could watch it whenever you want. You could watch it. You could rewatch it. You could hit a little button and say watch later and watch it later if you want to. YouTube, if you remember the old YouTube logo, was a slogan. The slogan said, broadcast yourself. What do you want to see on TV? If you could be on TV, if you could make a show, what would it be about? How would you do it? Show people how it's supposed to be done. And people did that for a long time. But what happened? Well, Hollywood thought that it wasn't going to be around a long time. So they dismissed it for a long time. But then when more people started moving away from mainstream TV, people watching YouTube, people streaming, and that somehow crept into YouTube. Now we want these YouTubers. The YouTubers are like celebrities. See, Hollywood, people like Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, and all them, and Denzel Washington, they're considered like old Hollywood. These are the OGs of Hollywood, because we have a new Hollywood now. You know, we had the Jenna Marbles, we had the Shane Dawson, we had the PewDiePie. Now we got like Mr. Beast, all these guys. It's become the same thing that TV has become. The only thing that's the same is you can watch whatever you want to watch. But remember some time ago when YouTubers first started getting movies, people was like, what? This dude from YouTube, this chick from YouTube will be in a movie? And I remember hearing a lot of the old school YouTubers talking about when they would be on set with big time actors, and they'd be like, hey, you that motherfucker from YouTube, my son, my grandson, my daughter, they love you. Well, what is YouTube? What do you do? Like, you just upload videos and get paid? And you don't have to leave your house? Man. I remember hearing them talk about how much the old school actors didn't respect them because they felt like they didn't put the grind in. Same thing with the internet comedians. The old school comedians that had to hit the club, they didn't respect them because they felt like you didn't grind how you're supposed to grind. But if they had this technology, they would do it too, because you'd be a fool not to. I remember those YouTube networks, Machinima, Full Screen, Maker. You know, I remember being like, YouTubers signed to networks? YouTubers got managers and stuff? What? Then you remember the ad apocalypse. People say, oh, ads and then I remember the corporate, like, man, if y'all are too young, YouTube, you could curse. You didn't have to say great. You could say great without the G. You could use any kind of music. It's changed so much to the point where some of those old Hollywood folks where I was talking about, now they in the video making. Now they on YouTube. Now they on Instagram. Now they on TikTok and stuff like that. But it's like, no, this ain't for you, dude. This ain't for you. This for us. This was for us. Right. This was for the young guy that always wanted to be a director. This was for the young chick that always wanted to be a singer, that didn't have to worry about the people in Hollywood trying to, get her on a casting couch or nothing like that. Somebody trying to put some baby oil on you. So it bothers me a little bit, because it's like, to me, it's kind of like when comedians get mad when a bigger comedian comes into the club because they know they're going to get bumped. Like Dave Chappelle may come in there and you an upcoming comedian. You're like, man, what you doing here? You proved your worth. Get out of here. I know he's going to say, yeah, I'm going up next. And you got to, you might be sitting there waiting to go on all night. We failed, YouTube, man. We failed. This was our chance to break away from the mainstream. This was our chance to be as creative as possible. This was our chance to not let corporate and all this stuff make your own art without having to worry about the powers that be saying this ain't hitting the ratings, so we got to cancel it. We failed. That's what lets me know, all of us that complain about the government, we complain that the government does us so foul and so dirty. Why we gotta have taxes? Why we gotta have this? Why we gotta have that? It reassures my mindset that if we was to all band together and run our own, even with the police, we should self-police. We should blah blah. What if we get this? What if we get what we want, and we know better, and we start slowly seeing our society turned into what we was trying to run away from. But I get it to an extent. I mean, I don't know if this was the original intent for the creators of YouTube. I don't know if this was their vision. Maybe what's going on now is what they always envision. You know, when you create something, you don't care about the people. It's like when you start a business, you don't really care about the employees. You trying to set you and your family up. They don't care about the lack of, you know, creativity and stuff like that. They just want their bread. They just want that keep ads. We need more advertising, more companies. They don't care nothing about the ones that's trying to, you know, pour our heart and soul into this art, you know, as opposed to selling yourself for a role on a TV show. You could upload art from your house and just make a living off of your art, whatever it is. And some months you may do great and some months you might not, but you ain't got some executive, this ain't making the ratings, we have to stop this, we gonna have to introduce some new stuff, you're gonna have to change your style, you know, change how you talk, change how you present it. Maybe we need to get a new host, maybe we need to fire you, maybe we need to replace you. We got away from all that. Corporate greed, money, the advertisements, that bottom line, pulled them right back in. And now we got YouTube celebrities. It started all over again. The cycle repeats. I guess we'll never really break away from the Hollywood mold, you know. I don't know. YouTube, we failed you. We dropped the ball. We missed the point. I don't know. Just something that was on my mind. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to y'all later.